going to show you how to take the quizzes in this class. You do not need the textbook to take these quizzes. You can look up the answers in a variety of ways. I'm going to show you the first way and maybe the best way. What you should know is that these quizzes are not from our textbook. So most quizzes and classes are from the textbook. These are actually from a different textbook. I just happen to like these quizzes better, and so we're using them. And to take the quizzes, you just click the link, go in there, and click begin. And then when you're in here, you need to find out, the answers to these different quizzes. So the first thing to do is just kind of go through and see if you know the answer yourself, right? One measurement of the CPU, of the speed of a CPU, is the blank, which is rated in megahertz or gigahertz. So if you need to find this answer, if you don't know what that is, you could maybe Google measurement of the speed of a CPU. And so if I highlight something in Google Chrome, I'm using the Google Chrome web browser. And if you do not have Google Chrome, you could go to Google Chrome and you could download this web browser. It's a web browser, it lets you browse the web. In Google Chrome, you could highlight something, you could right click it, you could choose search Google for measurement of the CPU, of the speed of a CPU. And how is the CPU speed measured? So I could go read about that here. And I could look through here, and one of the things I'm looking for is clock speed, right? That's what I would learn, clock speed. So I come back here and I say, hey, the answer is CPU clock speed. So really, that's the best way to start learning about this stuff, right? And kind of a more modern way is just, instead of looking it up in your textbook, highlighting something and searching for it and reading about it online. Traditionally, PC cards were used for notebook expansion. PC cards, what are PC cards? So that would be the phrase I would search for there, PC cards, and Wikipedia, and yeah, that looks like something that would go into a notebook or a laptop computer. So I would choose true on that, right? And if you read about it, you'll find that that is true. All right, so once you've taken this test, you could hit save and submit, and that's one way you could go through and take all of your quizzes. Another way you could do this is kind of a collaborative way. Well, there could be a collaborative way, but you'll notice that once I've taken the quiz, it gives me all of the answers. And so you could see here on the first two, excellent, I got them correct. But another thing you could do is you could go through, you could take your quizzes, and then you could copy all this. And you could right click it, you could choose copy, and you could go into Microsoft Word, and then you could choose paste special, or paste as text, that link right there, paste special, and then choose unformatted text. And now I have all of the questions and answers in there. And if I do that multiple times for this first quiz, because it pulls the questions from a pool of questions, if I do that 5 or 6 times, I'll eventually get all of the questions into the test pool bank. And I could start to sort of get all the questions with their correct answers into one area, and then I could look up the questions that way, look up the answers that way, which is just another way of looking up the answers. But I think that's kind of an interesting way to do it. And the collaborative side of that would be is if you wanted to work with an individual or several individuals in the class, you could each maybe put together a collection of all the questions and answers from chapters. So one person might do the first 4 chapters, the next person might do the next 4 chapters, and then you could share those, and you'd have all the questions and all the answers, and you could look the answers up that way. And that doesn't mean that you're bypassing learning. You're actually learning this technique here of pasting special as text, and you're learning the technique of collaborating and working with other people. And when you're looking at the question and you see the answer, right? Correct answer is true, right? Or let's just go up here to the top, see what it looks like. Selected answer, correct, true, correct. As you're looking through, you should pay attention to what you're reading and what you're entering when you retake the quiz. So, when I would go to retake the quiz, if I came to this question, I could Control C for copy. Come over here to Word, Control F for find, Control V for paste, and that takes me right to that question. It says the correct answer is 2. Each phase value in a binary number represents 2 raised to the appropriate power. Represents 2 raised to the appropriate power. There we go. All right, so that's another way you could take the quizzes. I think the best way, I would recommend is just right-clicking and doing a little web research and seeing what you come up with. The point of these quizzes is to help you become familiar with some of the different terminology associated with computers, and it's terminology you'll find anywhere in the computer field, computer industry, anytime you're talking about computers, and it's terminology that's also in our textbook, right? So plug and play, bits, throughput, that's all terminology that's in the textbook we're using, even though these questions aren't from the textbook we're using. Hope that makes sense. Good luck with your quizzes.